Hello everyone. Welcome back. This is Brian with ZimCo Survival, and this is Fire Week. Today I'm going to be doing something that I've used before, but never really thought about doing a review of. However, I decided to go ahead and do one today because, in my opinion, everyone should carry at least one of these in their backpacks, whether you're hiking, doing a bug out bag, a get home bag, whatever the case may be. I carry some of these myself, and I'm going to be carrying a bunch of them when I go on my Appalachian Trail hike, but they are zip fire starters. And no, you cannot go out and replace these with some other El Cheapo brand that has a box that looks like zips. No, it has to be zip across the top. These things, in my opinion, are one of the best. Things aren't going well and I need a fire starters. There is no guaranteed fire in a survival situation. There is always the possibility your fire will go out. No matter how good you are or no matter how good your materials are, there's always a chance. But this is as close as you're going to get to guaranteeing yourself a fire. You can light this with a ferro rod very easily. You can basically, if you want to, you can actually take it out of the packaging and cut pieces off of it to ration it if you so desire to do so. You can crumble it up into a powder and light it very, very easily, much like a cotton ball, and it burns for quite some time. The entire block will burn for around 18 minutes, but in my timing, I've had these burn for 22 minutes and I've had them burn down to, I think, 19 and some odd minutes. So in my experience, they tend to burn longer than the 18 minutes they advertise. So I love these things. They're cheap. You can get a box of 12 for $4.60 some cents at Walmart. And in my opinion, just take a couple of them, toss them in your bag as your last ditch effort to get a fire started. If things have really gone down and it's one of those, if I don't have a fire, I'm gonna die and I don't have enough time to properly build one, this thing will meet that requirement. I've been able to completely skip getting tinder and good kindling with this and go straight to logs about the size of my pinky, or sticks the size of my pinky, and still get a good fire going without any real fire prep. So this lets you skip a great deal of the fire prep if you don't have the time and you absolutely have to have a fire going. But this is going to be a fairly short review because, in my opinion, this is it as far as absolute emergency fire starters go. So let me go ahead. I'm going to take this to the log and I'm going to light this with a ferro rod. I'm actually going to use what you guys saw yesterday, the Exotac Nanostriker, to get this thing lit, to prove to you guys that you can light it with a ferro rod. It may take a little while, but it can be done. So I'll be right back. Alright, here we are at the stump once again. I have the zip block here. It's basically a solid fuel tablet made with kerosene, and I'm not sure what other materials, but it's a kerosene fire starter. So basically, I'm going to take my little Exotac Nanostriker, put it together for you. I really do love this thing. Okay, we're going to put this down on the block. We're going to do some quick scraping. Keeps moving on me. Whoop. Let me scrape a little bit off the rod here, just because the wind is being a pain. Come on, you know you want to. And yes, you are supposed to light these up with the wrapper on. The wind keeps messing around with me today, so let me see if I can maybe catch some more of the sparks doing it lengthwise here. There we go. Finally caught. The wind was trying to sabotage me. Alright, so there you go. As you guys can see, it can be lit with a ferro rod. Might take a little while, but it is possible. Personally, if I was in a situation where I had to have this thing going, I'd just use a Bic lighter. I'd skip the ferro rod altogether, but at least you guys know that a ferro rod is an option. Now, let me go ahead and take you back over there to the chair. God, this thing is burning hot. And we'll go ahead and finish up this review before it burns me. Alright. Alright, and we're back. Now, as for the emergency fire starters, like what I just showed you over there, the Zips, I think Zip really is kind of the top level of that. My only concern about them is their size. They are fairly large, so you can't put a bunch of them in your bag. It's not like a petroleum cotton ball. They are very, very light, but you know, they take up, a box of 12 is about this big. So it's not something you can carry a whole bunch of them, which is why I consider them a last-ditch effort to start a fire. It's something you put in your bag, you put a couple of them in your bag, just to make sure that you have a fire when you absolutely need it. As you can see, it's still burning over there. So, in my opinion, I probably give it an 8 out of 10 because it's very, very hard for the wind to put it out. It's not something that goes out with the first gust of wind. It can be lit with a ferro rod fairly easily. It can be done, but it's not optimal. If you light it with a lighter, it just kind of... So, in my opinion, if you're in that kind of a situation where you have to have a fire, you're not going to be using a ferro rod anyway. You're going to be using a lighter. But I like knowing that I can light it with a ferro rod if I need to. So in my opinion, it's always a good thing to have them. Now you can find them at Walmart. You can find the 6-pack in the camping section. And in my opinion, if you're just adding a couple to your bug out bag or your camping pack or hunting bag, whatever the case may be, as an emergency item, go ahead, get the 6-pack. It costs about $2.30 something cents. Take a couple of them out, add them to your bag, and play with the rest of them. Just kind of experiment with them and see what you can do. They aren't expensive. They're really cheap. In my opinion, there's no reason not to have a couple of them with you just to make sure. Now, it's a little bit hard to find them in Walmart because they separate them. You can find the 6-pack in the camping section, like I just said. And you can find the 12-pack where they keep all of their other log burning kind of materials, where they keep all their, you know, starter logs and everything else. So they separated it out. So if you're looking for a 12-pack and that's what you want, you're going to need to go to the aisle that keeps all of their other starter log materials. That's where you'll find the 12-pack. But if you're only looking for 6 because you want it as an emergency item, you'll find that in the camping section among all of their other El Cheapo camping stuff. But there you go. I give it an 8 out of 10 only because I really wish they had found a way to condense it a little bit more so that you could pack more of them with you. But for what it is, I consider it a really, really useful emergency item. So thank you guys for watching. That's my review. And as always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Please have a great day. Bye-bye.